Yes, brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We have finally made it to another one, another reaction on this YouTube platform, brothers and sisters. Brbptv is the channel that we are on. Be real, be positive right there. And then, brothers and sisters, I do appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning into another Vibrations, where I give my thoughts on a number of things pretty much pertaining to that of the nature island, the Caribbean, brothers and sisters, and of course the Caribbean by extension, and of course the world sometimes by extension is minute, but of course it's definitely in there, especially when it pertains back the macro versus the micro economic situation across the world, dealing back to Dominica and how it relates to the other Caribbean and so forth and so forth. So welcome, brothers and sisters. If you definitely want to get more vibrations on that, do what? Definitely subscribe. Click the subscribe button for you to pretty much get more vibrations when I definitely do drop right there. You can click the subscribe button somewhere down there, brothers and sisters. And of course, don't forget to do what? Hit that like button, brothers and sisters. Smash that like button. I would appreciate that right there. And then, without further ado, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations for today, for which we must first mention that none other than Mr. Piper, Colin Piper to be exact, is the name that he goes by. Well, that's his name given by his family members or whoever, brothers and sisters. And of course, he is bidding farewell to Discover Dominica. Colin Piper has been a part of Discover Dominica for quite some time. And of course, he's bidding farewell. It seems like there's some sort of, I'm not so situation. I heard there's some sort of speculation involving that pressure is building of some sort. It could just be that he's, wanting to, hey, I've done my time. It's time for me to move on. I remember a particular lady I was very fond of in the Discover Dominica, and she left. I guess things were changing up and stuff. So she decided she left. And, it's happening again with Mr. Colin Piper. And, of course, a number of persons have indicated the pressure is building from some sort. Of course, this is Nature Island News, NIN. And, of course, according to NIN right there, after 15 years as the CEO/Director of Tourism, Mr. Colin Piper will step down from his role at the Discover Dominica Authority, effective May 5th, 2024. So, at present, he's still the Director, CEO. And of course, I'm guessing he gives his 3 months notice right there. February, March, April, May. Yeah, so I guess he pretty much sent it around February 5th, if I'm correct in that regard. But of course, reflecting on the time as CEO, Director of Tourism, Mr. Piper remarked, I am grateful for the support extended to me by the Board of Directors, the Ministry of Tourism, and the Government of the Nature Island of the Caribbean throughout my 15-year tenure. That is something else, brothers and sisters. 15 years. That is truly something else. Brothers and sisters, the question here is, from the beginning of when Colin Piper took over as CEO to the present, has he brought a forward movement or progress so far when it comes down to the World Crime Music Festival? I think one of the biggest ones was actually when that individual came. What's his name again? Burna Boy. When Burna Boy came, I think they decided, hey, I think they listened to the people on what was actually happening, and I think last minute they probably called Burna Boy or something of that sort. Or maybe they had that previously planned, because when persons saw the list for the first time for 2023, they were like, what on earth is going on? What is that? But then I guess they called him Burna Boy. And, a lot of people came to Dominica. I think that was the biggest crowd ever. So under his tenure, that was pretty much something that was really good. But the quality of it, has it increased, brothers and sisters? Has it decreased? What are your thoughts on that regard right there? But of course, the collaborative effort and shared commitment to the success of our destination have resulted in numerous accomplishments. As I'm reading this there, brothers and sisters, not just the World Crime Music Festival that Discover Dominica tends to be a part of, but there's other things as well. So not just thinking of the World Creole Music Festival, but other things as well. Has Dominica elevated to that standing from when he took in 15 years ago to now? Has it elevated? Has it moved forward? I leave in that thought process to you guys right there. The success of our destination have resulted in numerous accomplishments, and I'm confident that the authority is well poised to achieve even greater milestones in the future. What exactly would that milestone be in comparison to 50 years ago, to now? That's an interesting. Where is the next milestone? Is there a goal needed, or are we just putting things out there and just, hey, let's hope for the best and see what happens? Is there a goal that we're planning to reach? Are we looking at increasing, more persons? Well, I know when Burna Boy came, a number of persons came. So maybe of that thought process when he looks for the near future, maybe bringing in popular artists, especially that relate to the Caribbean struggle, so to speak. Of course, Burna Boy and Afrobeat, we can, as African people, also relate to that vibrations right there. So I think that is also vital to understand what greater milestones will there be in the future. What goals are there? Mr. Piper, of course, has been pivotal in navigating the tourism sector through significant challenges. Of course, we can remember the whole Corona situation, and of course, Maria and Erica. I guess he went through all of this right there. Global and of course natural disasters, global crises such as the Rona pandemic situation. As Mr. Piper transitioned out of his role, where is he going? The Minister of Tourism, Discover Dominica Authority, and the Dominica Festival Committee jointly extend their heartfelt appreciation for his years of dedication, service, and significant contribution. They additionally conveyed their best wishes for his future pursuits. Well, maybe he doesn't want to put it in the public. Maybe he's going overseas. I remember as I'm looking at individuals like Daryl Teet and these folks who have been in Dominica, doing certain things in the media, on the media aspect. It seems like, there's a possibility he might be leaving. Who knows? But I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't rule that out at all. So, Colin Piper has been a part of it. It's still going, brothers and sisters. Tourism is still, of sorts going in Dominica. My personal thought on this, I don't think tourism has increased. I'm looking at the statistics. I see the statistics. It seems like tourism decreased. I'm not blaming it on Colin Piper. Sometimes people are tied. Their hands are tied behind the back and just have to go in accordance with whoever is in charge tells them. So sometimes we look at the person and not necessarily the root of the situation. Just like I keep mentioning Domlek screw up a lot of people's stuff, man. Taking lights on people, sometimes giving time frame lights haven't come back, and all these sorts of things. And then you say, Domlek, what is going on? And then after you realize there's the IRC regulates Domlek in that regard. And of course, who controls the whole IRC movement? That is another interesting part as well. So we're looking at Domlek being we always have to look at the root cause, brothers and sisters. So not just looking at Colin Piper. I think Colin Piper, I've met him before, talked with him a few times, and he seems like a cool person, chill, relaxed, and that kind of, he gives that kind of demeanor right there. But when it comes down to the progressive aspect of tourism in Dominica, I think there's a lot to be discovered. It's discovered Dominica. There's a lot to be discovered when it comes down to Dominica. And I think one of the things that a lot of the people in charge, not necessarily putting it on him, I think a lot of people who are in charge, they fail to realize what exactly needs to be done, in terms of elevating the tourism aspect. Because a number of persons have reached out to me, Mr. Lakes, we live in these modern times. Dominica has made how much news and people still don't know where Dominica is. With all the craziness that has happened, brothers and sisters, even Hurricane Maria put Dominica on the map. Tropical Storm Erica put Dominica on the map. Where else? The situation with the Canadians put Dominica on the map. Leonard Clinton also brought the disgrace of the government forth, so they put Dominica on the map. And then you wonder, Burna Boy and the others, Marshall Montana, a number of these folks put Dominica on the map. And still today, people have no clue where Dominica is. So I think there's something lacking when it comes down to the marketing. Even me putting out stuff, well, people have found Dominica because of me. People have found Dominica. There's some service that they tend to give the tourists sometimes. And I met some other folks and they told me that some of the tourists found Dominica through my videos. So that's why I know some of them from my videos and stuff. So I guess some of them know Dominica because of my videos. But when it comes down to the real aspect of the people in charge of these things, I think they have failed drastically when it comes down to the promotion of Dominica. But of course, maybe he himself, he decides, what, guys, I'm just saying, I don't know if that is the case, but he probably saying, boy, I've tried my best. 15 years, what exactly have we done? What exactly is the movement forward? I haven't seen much, I feel like I'm stagnant. Maybe that's what he thinks. It's not like he's in retirement age, brothers and sisters, And I think the position that he is in is pretty much a big position. CEO of Discover Dominica, really much the very thing that is used to promote Dominica and to put things in place, especially for not just the locals, but for overseas individuals as well. So there's much to be discovered when it comes onto this situation right there. And of course, he's leaving. So maybe he's like, you know what, guys, I tried my best. I feel the pressure. You know, it's time for me to roll. Or he could just be like, you know what, guys, I think I've did enough here. It's time for me to move on to a next career or something of that sort. That's what I think would be the case right there. But it's, you know, to and fro, back and forth, brothers and sisters. So that is something right here. Anyways, all the best to Mr. Colin Piper. Pretty cool individual. Spoke to him. He appeared on my videos a few times, brothers and sisters. You know, and of course, it is what it is right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, we're moving on to more pressing situation that seem to have taken place in Dominica, brothers and sisters.
Responsible
magistrate
might even be younger than that person. You know, I mean, we have to have so much.
That's King Dai is talking about Edison James.
But hey, the law is the law as long as it's for everybody. That's my thing. But
That's
it's
true.
for some one set alone, that's where injustice is. But you don't know. Let's see how it goes.
Let's find out how it goes, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right, thank you.
So that was Dice right there on the concern of Mr. Edison James. What exactly is happening with Mr. Edison James? According to NIN right there, magistrate commits former PM Prime Minister James Edison James to prison. Interesting stuff right there, brothers and sisters. And of course, indicated in the very article right there, it indicates in a bizarre situation, it seems a very bizarre one, former Prime Minister of Dominica Edison James has had his case of incitement committed to the High Court and has been ordered to be committed to prison by magistrate Michael Ludat today. James was Prime Minister of Dominica in 1995 to 2000. That's of course when they were trying to build the international airport, which we would have had today, brothers and sisters. But of course, you know, that didn't happen, unfortunately, and has been at the center of the alleged incitement case with former opposition leader Lennox Linton and now leader of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Dr. Thompson Fountain, right there. The former Prime Minister is now kept in the holding of the cell at the Magistrate Court in Roseau. Edison James is 80 years old. The charge stated that on February 7, 2017, that's interesting. That is about 7 years ago, he was involved in incitement by encouraging, persuading, or instigating by words, causing persons to jeopardize the safety or endanger the public's peace following a UWP meeting at which calls were made for the resignation of Mr. Prime Minister Roosevelt's scary. Now, brothers and sisters, when I read that article right there, there's a number of interesting things that I have to point out. Mr. Edison James wasn't committed to any sort of cell right there. I think on the basis from a little birdie, it was on the basis of him needing a shorty. I think this is my own speculation right now. Well, this shorty part was needed. They needed shorty for him to get bail and so forth and so forth. Anyways, the shorty apparently was not there, and as a result of that, they kept him. Now, on the basis of keeping him, I don't think he was able to leave, but I don't think he was placed in any sort of cell or sent to prison, according to what this article is saying. So I think maybe, you know, as a result of the shorty not there, he would have been committed to the prison. But that is not the case. That did not happen. And, you know, he was held. A number of persons are saying whether he was held in the cell or not. I don't think he was held in the cell. There's more voice notes, so we'll play that in a moment, brothers and sisters. But so my personal thought on these, brothers and sisters, I think they probably just thought the case was gonna get, you know, delayed again, or, you know, nothing was gonna happen, or, you know. But apparently this has been committed. The case with the incitement has been committed to the High Court, which is rather interesting. They're trying to charge the 80-year-old man. Now, don't get me wrong, age is just a number in that regard or whatever. Be the case that he actually did incitement, which I don't think all the evidence seem to point that is not the case at all. It's just something that dictators tend to use, or the individuals. When you look at other countries, dictators tend to try to oppress the opposition by bringing them to court for all sorts of stupidness. And I think that is the case right there. Even though Edison James is not the prime minister or acting prime minister or none of that sort, you know, he's been put, you know, forth to be, you know, kind of like what they do in the United States when it comes down to Trump, and then you realize, hey, but that doesn't make any sense in that regard right there. But of course, brothers and sisters, when it comes into the laws of Dominica, it's always interesting to know it. And when it comes down to the situation right there, I think if it's applicable according to what I say, if you're trying to say incitement, well, the Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, also told his followers to do what? To break the peace. By doing what? If they come to your doorstep to have a talk with you, all of that sort, or whatever the case might be, to talk to you, he's telling them to throw, he told people to throw hot water. He said it in patois, to throw hot water on them. That is inciting violence. You're trying to, and he is not, that's interesting. So my question here is, what did Edison James say to then be considered inciting? Where is it? Inciting, where is it? Inciting by words, causing persons to jeopardize the safety or endangerment or endanger the public peace. Brothers and sisters, to throw hot water on people that come to talk to you and say, hey guys, I think we need to do better in the place and we need to get rid of the prime minister who's pretty much, bringing the country down based off economic standing, brothers and sisters, and job securities and all these things, brothers and sisters. I think it will make sense to say, hey guys, why don't we vote the prime minister out? Or let's come together and say, okay, what is written by law that we can say, okay, we have no confidence in the government? But then again, when it comes to that situation, I think it has to do with the people in parliament, though. The people in parliament have to say they have no confidence in the prime minister. Which is also interesting because it doesn't seem like the people in parliament want to, well, on the prime minister's side, doesn't seem to want to do this, especially when it's evident. But then again, the salaries have increased. So if my salary is increased from $5,000 to $7,500, why are you making noise with the person that allowed me to have my salary increased? So it's interesting when I'm looking at it, brothers and sisters. But if you're coming for a man talking about incitement, what exactly did the man say about that as an incitement? Do you guys know? Anybody who's out there, let me know in the comment box below. Has there been any sort of incitement of sorts by Edison James saying that would cause persons to jeopardize the safety or endanger the public peace? When it's very evident and very clear that the one who has done the incitement is actually the prime minister himself. When he stated that when they come to your doorstep, throw hot water on them. The prime minister is telling that to do to people. Doesn't that sound like incitement to you? And it seems like the calls were made, resignation of the prime minister. Yes. If you're not doing well, just like any normal business, if you're not doing well, you need to resign or get fired. Especially when we're in all sorts of things happening all across the world when it comes down to Dominica. People who have no dealings with Dominica ended up reaching on Dominica on the basis of corruption. How on earth? I was just talking to an individual when I go on that, talking about the reason of gazetting information that is needed. Only 1/4 of the passports sold were gazetted, were told to the Dominican people. When the European Union came down, European Union trying to protect themselves, saying, hey guys, we found certain information, and this is the information we found. 3/4, more than half, brothers and sisters, 75% of passports sold were not reported to the Dominican people. You guys don't find this strange? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. But guys, these are just my thoughts right there. What are your thoughts, man? It could be right, could be wrong. But what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? This is very interesting right here. Anyways.
The one who's prosecuting the case. And Mr. Loda stated that Mr. Scotland is on an island, so he needs to present him with an opportunity to respond to the application. So the matter was adjourned to next Friday, so that Mr. Scotland will be on island. Then he can respond to the application for the no case submission for Texas John.
All right, well, I want to say thank you very much, Ronaldo.
I didn't get the full thing, but
for this comprehensive report, and we just want to share the news that Mr. Edison James, was never in the cell, as was circulated earlier. Thank you, Ronaldo. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
I'll keep you updated after the hearing.
Keep me up.
So, Mr. Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo them usually are by the court to find out the information, which of course is a good thing right there. And they indicated he was never in the cell. So I guess I was correct in that regard. I heard he needed bail or something of that sort, and of course he was granted bail right there. So he's not in the prison according to this article. I think like the article was most likely would have been indicated, maybe it was worded wrongly, would have been magistrate commits former PM James to prison if there is no shorty or if there is no one to provide that bail for him. And of course, he got the bail right there. And of course, you know, it's just very interesting what is going on in any child of the Caribbean. It's just like another. And brothers and sisters, I'm paying attention to how things are going. I'm from time to time you just see these things popping back up. I wonder if it's like, you know, you don't want to get the people settled too much. You don't want to get the people settled too much. So let's put this on the bow. Get the people rival up again, man. Rival up again, they rival up, and then it just go down, die down. And then, you know, you want to make the people a little more, you know, bow, put that up there, you know. That's I don't know. Maybe it's just the way the court system works. Or somebody is just literally doing this right there to the people on a psychological basis. You know? It's interesting when you pay attention, brothers and sisters. You wonder why exactly is this happening right there. Now they call a matter that's supposed to be called today and the partner is not there. Well, seems like, you know, so yeah. But I think the article was worded wrong. I think it should have been continued. Magistrate commits former PM James to prison if there was not a shortage. So he was actually held. Well, according to what Ronaldo was saying, he wasn't put in any cell, but he was held. So I guess he couldn't leave until there was some sort of shorty that came in to foot the bill so he can get bail. So that is a very interesting day and time that we live in, brothers and sisters. And of course, talking about day and time, National Assembly, brothers and sisters, on the 25th of February, Sunday, brothers and sisters. That is this Sunday coming? No. Yes. No, not this Sunday. Next Sunday, brothers and sisters. Today is Friday. My God. I thought today is Wednesday. Anyways, brothers and sisters, yeah, so this is something that needs to be done 3 p.m. Sunday, February 25th. And of course, the National Assembly stronger together to save Dominica, rescue, restore, rebuild right there. All of these things should not be. It's like you're just taking people and just forming the absolute royal donkey with people. You know, just for you to, you know, try to see if you can hold on a pressure. That's all it is, you know, brothers and sisters. First of all, I don't think none of this in that indication would ever, you know, happen. Incitement of what? You know? I myself, I'm unaware of he saying anything of that sort. So if you guys can let me know in the comment box below, what exactly did Edison James do to incite people to do what? To jeopardize the safety or endanger the public peace, as well as instigating, you know, trouble, brothers and sisters, or persuading, encouraging. I mean, encouraging and persuading is the same word, but I guess, you know, I guess that's what the person wanted to put right there. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. But remember, this thing is very much needed right there. You need to save Dominica from itself. That's an interesting quote right there. Saving Dominica from itself. Who exactly will save Dominica from itself? Itself? To save itself from itself? Or... that's another interesting thought. Who will save Dominica from itself? Will that be itself? To save itself from itself? What are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Anyways, the boy Mr. Leaks on this here Brbptv. Remember, guys, hit that like button, brothers and sisters. I would appreciate that right there. Like the video, I would appreciate that, brothers and sisters. And of course, with that said, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notification. Subscribe, brothers and sisters, so you can pretty much get more vibrations as they tend to come through. But this one pretty much shocked me right there, no doubt about it. When I saw this article, I was like, what? Bow, on the phone. What's going on now? You see, not really sure, but he's not in prison. That's what I got for sitting right there. So I'm guessing, like I said before, I don't think this was completed. I think there should have been, if there is no someone, if there's no one to supply bail. And I think the reason why there was nobody there, because I think they was gonna, you know, extend it and push it and keep pushing, you know, back just for, you know, aesthetics. Oh boy, I've had enough of you, young Chichi. It's time I deal with you. Well, ask the question, who will save Dominica from itself? Will itself save itself from itself? It's a good question to ask. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? About mistakes, once again, be real, be positive.